Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Shailama is here. If you are new, please hit that subscribe button to join our family and so you won't miss any videos in the future. In today's video, I would like to talk about motivation, specifically about motivation while being in school, how to stay motivated throughout the semester. I had a couple of people request this video, and so I'm hoping my tips will help you to stay motivated, or at least get some ideas on how to stay motivated. I'm gonna try and keep it short, so we're just gonna jump right into it. Here is a simple diagram to put things in perspective. We all start right here. This is our starting point. Without it, nothing will get done. So it is a very important key to the puzzle. At the very end, we have our goals, or the things that we're working towards, a finish line of sorts. Now, obviously, these two parts are crucial to the puzzle, but what's most important is what happens here in between, because without this, nothing will get done. And this part of our puzzle is driven by motivation. Now, different things motivate different people. For some, it's material things like money or new things, cars, whatever. For other people, it's more sense of accomplishments that motivates them, or sense of achievement, or some spiritual gain. Whatever it is, I'm hoping my tips will help you. They might not work for you personally, but if you have some ideas or some things that you do that motivate you personally, please leave comments below. I would love to see how other people stay motivated, even if it's not related to school life, but just related to life in general. Please share your thoughts. Now, since I am talking about school in particular, I'm just gonna jump right in and talk about school. So one thing, as we talked in our diagram, here's your start, which in school, this is your start of your school year. And this is maybe the end of school or end of your degree or end of the semester, right? And then between this, there's this grind. And we've all been through this. When you start school, you're all excited because you just got new things for school. You're probably excited to see your friends or make new friends. Maybe you're going to new school, new university. So sort of this adrenaline, you sort of like pumping yourself up to go. As the school year progresses, your motivation goes down, and essentially off the charts here. And what's important is this little bit here, because for myself, this bit here is what was most important to keep my motivation going. One thing that helped me a lot, and that's probably the biggest thing that I've used throughout my school years, is to keep your big goal in perspective. Now ask yourself, why are you in school? Why are you doing school? If you're in university, why are you doing a specific degree? Now, for some people, say if you're going to med school or if you're planning on going to med school, your big goal is not to get into med school. Your big goal is to be a doctor, right? So you want to be a doctor. It's a cardiologist, GP, surgeon, whatever it is. If you're going to be a lawyer, your main big goal is not to go to law school. Your main goal is to be a lawyer, right? So write it down. Now, if your goal, for example, if you want to finish school and go travel, that's your goal. But to get to that final goal, you have to go through this grind. What I would do is I would write my main goal. So for me, and it might change. So for me, because I started thinking I want to go to med school, it was becoming a doctor. And after being in school for 1 year, I changed my degrees, I changed the way I thought. So the goal changed, and that's okay. But in the moment, what's your big goal? So for me, it was to become a geologist and to find a job as a geologist. So I wrote it down in big letters, put it on the wall, so I can see that goal every day. So when I'm here, kind of middle of semester, and my motivation starting to drop down, I would look at that goal and it's like, this is why I'm doing it. And the only way to get here is to go through this motion. That's number one. That's probably the biggest thing that you can do, is write your goal. Why are you doing what you're doing? The next thing that's more applies towards the semester rather than the whole school year. Remember, there is an end to it. So there is an end to the semester, there's an end to your school year. And I think it's a little bit of mind tricking yourself, it's sort of like a subconscious way. I think us as humans, we do like to see the end result. We like to see that there's an end to it. If you're in this like daily grind and you don't see the end, that you don't feel like it's ever gonna finish, you're just gonna get tired and frustrated. But if you believe that, okay, there's an end to it, it's easier to stay motivated. So what I would do is every semester I would write my deadlines. Either if it can be for assignments or it can be for just the whole semester, right? So I would write, when my last final exam for the semester, I would write that down and say free after that, right? And even if you're not free, you'll deal with it after, but at least your mind will think, okay, this day I'm done with school, at least for a while. And that would kept me going a lot. And I would do that for all assignments. So like, say if I have a huge paper to write, I would write it down. It's like, okay, it's due, say, I don't know, April 15th. So come April 15th, be like, whew, this is done. I never have to worry about it again. So write the end dates for your semester, for your year end, or whatever it is. One big thing is to remember you're not alone in this. That's sort of, when you study and you're in your bubble, it feels like you might be alone. It feels like you are the one who's studying the most. You're the one who has to write the most papers. But I can assure you there are thousands of people that are going through the same grind. And it is easier mentally. I think it's a little bit of a herd mentality, if you will, to think that there are other people that are going through the same struggles every day. They might have different circumstances, they might have different classes, but the idea is the same. They're in it with you, so you're not alone. And if you feel like you are alone, please talk to your friends, talk to people in your class, see how they handling it, see how they are keeping motivated, see how they study the material. So that's a big thing. The next idea on how to stay motivated in school is a bit more material, so it might not work for everyone, but it will work for a lot of people. Now, and that's to look into scholarship and bursaries. The one thing that kept me going every semester is the idea that I will get scholarship at the end of the semester. Now, for my school, I don't know if it works for every school, but for my school, if you imagine this is a semester, this is the start, this is the end, right about here, we would have to start applying for scholarships. And then come X date, we would get paid the scholarships. Not all on the same date, but within a week. And that kept me going, especially the first semester I got scholarships. I was like, whoa, you can get money for studying, this is awesome. And so the next semester I was really pumped to get that money for studying, for my hard work. And essentially it also rewards you for your hard work, and it alleviates the stress, because if you are paying for school yourself, that's one way to pay for it without going to extra work or without going into debt. So definitely look into scholarships, keep that as a motivation. And that brings me to my last point, and it is to reward yourself. Don't forget to reward yourself. That is probably the biggest motivation to keep going, is reward. Essentially, you are going from your start point to your goal, and the goal means some sort of reward. Now, on a big picture, it's you getting a profession, you becoming, say, a doctor, a lawyer, accountant, whatever it is. But on a shorter scale, you have to keep yourself motivated. So reward yourself for small achievements. If you finish the semester, reward yourself. Finish the school year, reward yourself. It doesn't have to be huge. It doesn't have to be a new car every year. It can be as small as box of chocolate, or going on a trip somewhere. For me, it was, I'm a geologist, so I like rocks, I like outdoors, and we are fortunate, we live near the mountains, so at the end of every school year, me and my friends, we would go camping in the mountains. Again, it didn't require a lot of money. We would just pack a car and go for a couple, 3 or 4 days. You can get school out of your head, and essentially it creates a positive reinforcement of your brain. It gives you sort of this sense of achievement, that like, okay, if I go through this daily grind, at the end there is something that I will get out of it. And one thing, don't let anyone, and I mean anyone, poop on your rainbow. If you think you deserve the reward, then reward yourself. If you think you worked hard enough, reward yourself. If someone else is telling you, oh, you didn't work hard enough, so you don't deserve it, but you think otherwise, ignore them. Because people have different opinions, people don't know what you went through to get to that end goal, so only you can decide whether you deserve or don't deserve the reward. Now, it does take discipline, so you do have to be honest with yourself. If you don't deserve it, you don't deserve it. But if you worked hard, did the best you could, you do deserve the reward, and it's very important. Now with that, I'm gonna leave you. Hopefully, if my tips didn't directly apply to you, but at least I gave you some ideas on how to think positive, how to stay motivated. And please share your comments below, subscribe, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye.